Welcome to your last week of Education 310. You made it. This is week 8. You've worked very hard and put a lot of work into this course, so I appreciate all of that. I do want to just take a couple minutes of your time to walk through a couple of things that you're going to be doing this week. There's not a number of items that you'll be working on, but what you are working on will probably take some time to put together. So let's take a moment first and take a look at our syllabus, so that we know exactly what our learning outcomes are, what we're going to be working on in this last week together. So as we scroll down to week 8, you are going to be creating a presentation sharing the experiences that you had with growth mindset and assessment practices while you were in the field. And I know that there are two of you, one of you that just started this past week in the field, and another one that has yet to have a field placement for Campbell things that we need to work out. So I do know and understand that. Number 2, you are going to organize your field experience notes, your book study information, your reflections, so that you can submit your reflection for your interactive notebook and make sure that your interactive notebook is all completed. And then you're going to finish up your intervention sessions, applying those growth mindset and assessment concepts. So you'll be working through your presentations, your interactive notebook, your field experience, and your discussion board, and I will share a little bit about what that's going to look like. All right, I am going to turn this into the student view so that you all can see what you normally see. So let's go into our weekly content. Now when you scroll all the way down, week 8 will be here. And right now, all that's available in week 8 is your discussion board. So you are going to be creating a presentation about your field experience, your intervention group, kind of a whole thing all together. The biggest pieces that you want to take away from that. So you are going to create a link for your presentation, and then you're going to upload that into your discussion board. So your discussion board may just be a link, and then you might want to add any additional information or comments or little bits and pieces that you want people to know as they're watching your video in your presentation. So remember here that before you upload and before you submit your final product, because what you upload into your discussion board is what your final product will be, and that's what I will watch, and that's what I will base your final grade on. Remember to look through those rubrics. So let's go back into the syllabus and scroll down to see exactly what will be required. So I know some of you have been working on the field experience and everything to be able to turn it in early, because I did offer those early points. I'm still going to offer the extra 5 points if it's turned in by March 2nd. And so let's see what is required. So there's kind of 2 parts to this. The first part is your field experience. Second part is your intervention. And then once you have that, you also have your presentation about both. So this should be 5 pages, and here's the requirements for what I'm looking for in this setup. So don't worry about 5 pages, because once you put all the pieces of this into your paper, I promise you, you will get to 5 pages without question. In your reflection, you're going to include the introduction. So kind of give us a summary of what you're going to be writing about, your thesis statement, you know, what an introductory paragraph should be. I want you to have at least a paragraph where you're talking about growth mindset. It can be, I'm looking for your reflection and review of those practices or not, if they're happening or not in the classrooms. And then be sure that you are citing evidence from Carol Dweck's book. And then also some suggestions for implementation and strengthening. So if you are in a setting where you are not seeing growth mindset practices, what are some ways that you would recommend to implement or to strengthen that practice? So as you're working through your paragraph, at least paragraph, make sure that you are citing evidence from the book to support what you wish you would have seen or what you suggest for classrooms to do. And you're also going to have a paragraph where you're talking about your reflection and review of the classroom learning environment. So some of you might partner with multiple classes, and that's fine if you want to talk from each perspective, or you certainly can choose the partner classroom where you pulled your intervention group from. So you're going to write about the classroom environment. Was it respectful? Were students engaged? Were they working on real world work? And just kind of overall reflection of the classroom learning environment. Then another paragraph will be a reflection of the classroom assessment practices. So this will connect right back to your classroom assessment book. What types of assessments are given in your partner classrooms? Are they using data to inform their instruction? Is teacher feedback happening to students, and are students using teacher feedback? So this you're going to connect to the classroom assessment textbook. So again, make sure you're citing your evidence from the classroom assessment book. So it kind of supports what you're hoping to see or wish you would have seen or what you did see in your partner classrooms. Then your reflection of your process overall. So most of you are placed in the schools where you're at. So just kind of a reflection of your semester as a whole with a lens of growth mindset and classroom assessment. What is one kind of final reflection to tie it up? In that reflection or somewhere in your paper overall, I want you to have at least one question that's included. It could be about your partner classroom, it could be about growth mindset, it could be about classroom assessment, it could be about your intervention group. Any question that stems from any part of our work together during this term. Your look-fors document is completed and attached, so that's your context for learning. So please make sure if you did not complete your context for learning, you look back in one of the first couple weeks. I can't remember offhand which week it is, but please make sure you look back so that you're able to complete the context for learning, because that has to be included within this as well. Again, you're going to be citing from at least Carol Dweck and Popham's classroom assessment book. So please make sure that you are citing those throughout your paper and that you also have a work cited here. If you go to the Campbell Library part of a website, you will be able to find some links to support you with APA formatting. And in fact, I think a couple of them are even such that you can type in the name of the book and it will provide you with that citation. So that's the first part of your reflection. That alone should probably get you close to 5 pages, but then this is also going to be added in. So that was your part A, reflection of your field experience and your time in your partner classrooms. So now you're also going to be adding in your group reflection. So remember that we created our assessment notebook. So if this information that I'm going to be sharing with you can either be in your assessment notebook or it can be in a reflection that you're going to be adding on following your field experience reflection. So I'm looking for your group to make sure that it's between 1 and 4 students, that you're working on similar skills for your 6 sessions. Some of you have more than 6 sessions, which is wonderful. So I'm just looking to make sure that your group meets this criteria. And making sure that you have a log of those dates and times and that it's been maintained accurately. Again, that's in the assessment notebook template that I sent to you. You don't have to use that template, but it's there if you want to use it. Your session notes. So for each of your sessions, I am looking to see that you have the North Carolina Standard Course of Study, the connection to the Big 5 in reading, or the Math Standard of Mathematical Practice. So if you were working on reading, I want to see which part of the Big 5 it connects to. If you're working in math, I want to see which standard of mathematical practice it connects to. If you're unsure of those things, then you can look those up. Those of you who I had for math or Education 435 already, the standards of mathematical practice are in your notes from that class. I want to know for each of your sessions what's the materials, the student work, the samples, pre-assessment, post-assessment. So a couple of you again have sent me your assessment notebooks, just like, hey, am I on the right track? And I'm not going to look at them with enough detail to grade, but I can at least give you a recommendation if you're on the right track. So remember though, if any of these things are not a part of your assessment notebook, then make sure that they're a part of your reflection in the paper. Again, in the assessment notebook, you have data to track your students' progress. It should include your pre- and post-assessment data and anything in between while you were meeting. I need to see evidence of the students tracking their progress. and then you're going to write a summary including data. So what I mean by including data is if Cooper started our group with knowing 4 out of 25 sight words, and by the end of our intervention group time, Cooper knew 23 out of 25 sight words. That's what I want to see in that summary of student growth. And then you're also going to add a little bit of a reflection of just your group experience overall. So that's a lot of information. So just know that this part, from starting from the group down, can be in one of two places. It can be in your assessment notebook, or it can be added on to the reflection for your field experience. But between those two places, all of this information in the rubric should be there. Now, your presentation. What I'm looking for is that you maintain good eye contact with the audience, and I'll show you how we're going to be doing this. You have a clear, audible voice. Your delivery is poised, controlled, and smooth. You use good language skills and pronunciation. The length is within the assigned time limits, which is no more than 15 minutes. It shouldn't take 15 minutes, but sometimes we get talking about things and we're really kind of in the trenches with it, so we end up being able to fill 15 minutes with no problem, but no more than 15 minutes. Information is well communicated and you have some sort of visual. Okay, so for most of you, that's going to be like a PowerPoint presentation or a Prezi presentation. There are several other options that you can do, but you have a total of 50 points for this presentation. So my recommendation for this presentation is that, one, you build a PowerPoint or a Prezi with the information that you want to share. One, it helps you to stay focused on what you want to share and you don't just kind of ramble. And two, it provides the criteria, it meets the criteria for your visuals and helps you to do these other pieces as well. So I recommend using the format that I use for you guys here every week, and that is Screencast-O-Matic. So it's very user-friendly, easy to use. You do create an account, but it's a free account, and then you can use it as much as you want. I use this for all of my online classes for my weekly videos. So once you log in and you create an account, this is what your screen should look like. And to be honest, all that I do is I have my login information saved for my computer, so it kicks me right in. And then I just click on Start Recorder, and it will kick up a screen. I'm not able to show you right now while I'm recording, but down here in this bottom corner where my mouse is circling, it will kick up a little black box that will ask you if you want to display your computer only, the video only, so that's you, or both. So I want you to do both because I want to be able to see your presentation in the background and I want to be able to see you in this bottom corner as you're explaining. So then once you do that, there's going to be a little button down in this very corner that looks like the red record button, and it has a timer. It will let you know how much time you have taken up, how much time you have left. It will stop automatically at 15 minutes, so that's why I say you have a limit of 15 minutes. And then once you're finished, a little box, you'll press the stop button down in the same corner. A little box will pop up over here and it will ask you how you want to save your video. So for me, I just have a little YouTube channel that I use for only the sake of keeping these videos stored in a common place. But it gives you other options for how and where to save these videos. It's easiest and it's free to just have a personal YouTube channel is what it's called. But so you can do it other ways as well. Either way, you just need to do it so that you're creating a link. You'll title in this box. It will ask you what you want to title your video, and then it will let you to start to publish it. So you publish it again either to YouTube or one of the other formats that it's letting you. And then once it's finished, it will say your upload is complete. What do you want to do next? And you can view it, you can send it, whatever you want to do. So you want to get to a point where once you have built the video, you go back into your Blackboard, you add to your discussion board, and when you're participating, you're going to create a thread, and you should be able to, once you start working in here, add a hyperlink, and if not, then you can just type it in. You like copy it from your browser and you can type it in here and it should let us either click on it or cut and paste. Please email me with any questions.